Hi, I'm Don, your AppBuzzinga trainer. Thanks to Joe and the AppBuzzinga development team, we now have a number of additional plugins that can be used in our AppBuzzinga apps. Some of them, such as the Circle View List menu, are specifically for the Apple iOS system. Others are specifically for the Android and Eclipse system. The system pulls in all of the plugins by default. This makes changes and updates easier, and it reduces the number of builds that have to be done. However, since we started adding some of the plugins that are iOS only, they get copied into the Android products too. You have to delete them or accommodate them. The ones that are Android or both you can just ignore or leave in. Only a small portion of all of the plugins that are available are included by default. In this video, we're building a simple app that uses an external URL in order to display a mobile-ready website. We're going to download our new app, DuckAB, into our Eclipse compiler and go through the steps needed to accommodate the additional plugins that have been included. I'm stepping through the process of downloading and bringing our app into the Eclipse compiler rather quickly, as we've covered that in other videos, training sessions. A few clicks and selections and our app is now in our Package Explorer. As our app opens up in the Package Explorer, we can see the red X's indicating that we have a number of issues that must be resolved before our app will successfully compile. We also see down here on the right in the Console tab that we have an invalid file name. The location and name of the files with name errors are shown in the error messages. So we can go to the Resources tab, open that up, and find in our layout the files that have errors in the name. Eclipse doesn't allow uppercase letters in file names, so we have to change that uppercase B to a lowercase. Let's go find the other file that has an uppercase. There it is. And we change that from an uppercase B to a lowercase b. We also know from doing some research that one of our source code file names in Java isn't correct, so we need to go out and find that. We're using a menu plugin, and we've found that the word list does not match the rest of the plugin settings, so we need to remove that. Now let's go back into the Package Explorer and take care of some of those plugin issues that we see here. We could try removing all of the extra plugins, but it might just be easier to go find the resources that they need and leave them in place. We're going down to the Android tools and getting the support library that they need. Once the support library has completed loading, we're going to go ahead and accept all of them. The install process doesn't take very long, and as it is going through the process, we end up seeing a success message down at the bottom, and over here on the left in our Package Explorer, we'll see that all those little red X's have actually gone away. However, we still have an X up here on our activity root, so we know from a previous video that we have some settings that need to be taken care of. First in the Android tools is to fix project properties. Then we need to go back into our tools, and we need to change the project type from Android to Google API. I'm using Platform 2.2, API 8. Now when we double check, we see that all of the little red X's are gone from the Java code down in the body of our app. However, when we look up at the top, we see there's still a red X, so when we run it, it gets us more errors. Looking through our list of Java items, we see that 4 different items have turned up with red X's, indicating there are issues. A little research determines that the 2 advanced menu items here are actually intended for the Apple or iOS operating system. So all we really have to do here is to delete both of them, and there will be no further consequences for our app. Once that's done, let's go take a look at our BT File Manager Java app and see what's wrong there. A little more research shows that what should be our app name is actually a carried over app name from a previous app. So what we have to do is do a find and replace to put our app name, DUCKAB, in and replace all of the places where the name is incorrect. It found and made 30 matches and replacements. When we close it and save it and go over and look, we see that the red X is gone from BT File Manager. Now let's go take a look at the Easy In-App Purchase. When we open this one, we see that there is a red X next to the User Agreement EULA. Clicking on it, I get a pop-up box that shows me a couple of suggested fixes for the issue. I simply selected the very first one, and now I can close it. That changed it from an Easy In-App Purchase to an EULA User Agreement. Now let's go look for the last one, which is in our menu. In the Java editor, the red X will show you where the issue is, or you can go over to the right to the elevator bar and see the red block, which will show you where the error can be found. You may recall earlier in the video that we changed a source file name to take out the word list. This Java plugin is referring to that file, and with the word list in it, it can't find it. So we take the word list out and save it, close it, and our issue is resolved. Now let's do one final check, looking through all of our plugins to make sure that we haven't missed anything else, and then we'll be ready to run it again. We started our Android Virtual Device, AVD, earlier, so all we have to do now is run our app and see what the results are. Let's go down and unlock our AVD so that it's ready to receive the app when it runs. Let's check our console and our logcat so that we make sure we're not getting any errors, and there we are. We have updates available on our app. What we have done is to create a simple menu app that loads a mobile-friendly website URL and displays it on your Android device. In the process, we found, located, and corrected several issues related to the plugins and to the app that we're building, doing it all inside of the Eclipse editor. As you can see, it nicely displays and runs our mobile-friendly website inside of our Android app on our Android device.